Alright, so when you are multiplying monomials to polynomials or polynomials to each other, you just follow the rules for multiplying exponents. Here we have three monomials times each other. We have this one, 3bc squared, times this one, 4b, times this one, 2a squared c squared. So the coefficients will multiply to each other just like they always have. 3 times 4 is 12, times 2 is 24. So we've got 24. And then we'll write our variables in alphabetical order. So first we have a's, and it looks like we only have a squared, no other a terms. So that's just going to come out being a squared. And then b terms, it looks like we've got b to the 1, and that's it. So remember, powers add when we're multiplying. So b to the 1 and b to the 1, 1 plus 1 makes b squared. And then for our c terms, we've got c squared and another c squared. So 2 plus 2 makes c to the 4th. So we end up with one single monomial term. So if it's a monomial times a monomial times a monomial, there's no adding or subtracting, we're going to end up with a monomial. 24, a squared, b squared, c to the 4th. One term. This is a monomial, one term. Now if I have a monomial times a trinomial, this term, negative 6x squared, this term, 3xy, and this term, negative 8y squared, I'm going to end up with a trinomial for an answer. I have a monomial times a trinomial, so I'm going to distribute this monomial 3 times. Now, 2 is going to multiply to the coefficient, negative 6. So my first term is going to come out being negative 12. And then for my variables, I have a y to the 4th and an x squared. So y is not going to increase powers because there's no more y's, and x isn't going to increase powers because there's no more x's. So we'll just write them in alphabetical order, x squared, y squared. They just blend together. For the second term, 2 is going to multiply to the coefficient positive 3. So I'm going to get positive 6. And I only have, I have 4y, y to the 4th power, and y to the 1st power. So I'm going to end up with 5 of those. And for my x's, I just have only x squared. Nope, only x single, just x1, and no other x's this time. So I'm just going to have, for this batch, 2y to the 4th times 3xy. I'm going to have positive 6, x to the 1st, y to the 1 plus 4, 5. For the last term in the trinomial, 2 is going to multiply times negative 8 now. So we're multiplying 2y to the 4th times negative 8y squared. And 2 times negative 8 is going to give me negative 16. There are no x's, so I only have y's, and I have y to the 4th times y squared. So we add those powers, we get y to the 6th. Now we're always going to look and see if we have any like terms, but x squared y squared is not the same as xy to the 5th, and none of them are the same as y to the 6th. So we'll just leave our trinomial like this, no like terms. In a situation like this, we have a binomial, 2 terms, times a binomial, 2 terms. So how this works is we have 2 things that have to get distributed now. Instead of just a monomial getting distributed, I have a binomial, 2 terms getting distributed. So first we're going to distribute the negative 3a, and we have to distribute it to all of the terms that are over here. So one at a time. Negative 3a times negative 4a is going to give us positive 12. Negative 3 times negative 4 is 12. And a to the 1 times a to the 1 is going to give us a squared. Now we're going to distribute negative 3a to the other term. We have to distribute it to both terms. So now it's getting multiplied to positive 4b. So negative 3 times positive 4 will give us negative 12. And we have an a to the 1 and a b to the 1. So that's just going to give us a to the 1, b to the 1, ab. Next, we're going to distribute our other monomial terms. Now we're distributing positive 8b. So we can ignore this one. We're finished with it. We have to distribute this to two terms. So 8b times negative 4a is going to give us negative 32. And we'll write our variables in alphabetical order. So 1a and 1b is just going to give us ab. And then 8b times positive 4b for our last thing we're going to distribute. 8 times 4 is going to give us positive 32. And we have a b to the 1 and another b to the 1. So that's going to give us b squared. Now we have to look for like terms. So if you notice, this time we've got, I don't know if that'll show up. We've actually got like terms. A squared, there's no other a squareds, but negative 12ab and negative 32ab match, so we can put those together. And then 32b squared will be by itself. So we'll bring down 12a squared, and then negative 12 minus 32 is going to give us negative 44ab. When we combine like terms, powers don't change because we're not multiplying, we're adding or subtracting. And then positive 32b squared. There's our final simplified trinomial that we ended up with.